Hello everyone, welcome back to Resident Evil 4. It is same day, so I'm basically doing an immediate follow-up session. I'm probably going to keep this one even quicker, maybe down to like 30 minutes if I can.
Leon!
But I wanted to keep
I
going.
got it. Louis!
Now that I have the sample, you serve me no purpose.
Sadler!
My boy Salazar will make sure you follow the same fate.
Stay with me, Louis. I am a researcher, hired by Sadler. He found out what I was up to.
Don't talk.
Here. It should suppress growth of the parasite. The sample. Sadler took it. You have to get it back. Louis! Louis!
We just saved, so I'm not gonna. They'll pay for your death, I promise. That always makes me kind of sad. I like Luis a lot. I think he's... Even though he's, you know, he's got that weird, like, 2000s misogyny or whatever. I like him as a character, and I feel like the Resident Evil series so often has these, like... sort of charming friendships. Resident Evil series has these kind of charming friendships in the games that I feel are like part of the DNA of the series. Like you get the Barry-Jill relationship and Jill Carlos also, and Leon Claire, and like all these things are I think pretty important to what Resident Evil is, and he was the closest we get to that in this series, or in this game I should say. So I think it's kind of unfortunate that we didn't get more time with him, and it could have been interesting to find out more about him in general. The fact that he was like this ex-cop researcher. That's kind of a waste of ammo. I could have done that with the pistol, but whatever.
Talk about near-death experience.
Better than accidentally shooting her.
Ashley, get out of there!
Forget, are there guys up here? I don't think so. Where's the other guys? There we are. Flash grenade was kind of a waste. I could have sworn there were more dudes. Are there dudes up here? No.
The door's locked. I can't open it.
Up here? This is when I should have used a flash grenade. I was a little premature. Shit.
Ahí está. No dejas.
Where's the last guy? There he is. Damn it. I think that's the last guy.
I got the key. I can get out.
Last guy? Cool. Now we get Ashley section. Isn't this gonna be fun? We're gonna get to play as Ashley, everybody's favorite character. President's daughter, Ashley. But yeah, I wish we had gotten a little more time with Luis. I think he's an interesting enough character, even though there's issues with him. And you don't really have that buddy again for the rest of the playthrough. Like you hang out with Ada a little bit. And I guess, I don't know, Ashley is present.
Allí están.
Gotta remember how to do this. It's been a minute. Hi. Crank, that's what it is.
Mátalo.
Damn it. I think it's 2 to kill them. I hope it is at least, because otherwise missing one would be really bad. Okay, well, time to run. Switch. Is there anything locked, presumably? No. Man, I forget this, like, entirely. Cool. I think... yeah, she just has nothing. Oh, note. Butler's memo. Knowing that Senor Ramon Salazar had no family, Lord Sadler must have used his strong faith in the Los Illuminados to his advantage to talk to Senor Salazar into undoing the seal of Las Plagas once done by his ancestor. Senor Salazar would never do such a thing, unless he was in some way being used unknowingly. I should have sensed the Lord's dirty scheme sooner. I feel I'm partly responsible for all of this. I have no idea as to what the Lord is planning, but Senor Salazar was just being used. It is too late now, however. Senor Salazar has already taken the Plaga into his body. There is no turning back once the Plaga has turned into an adult in the body. The Plaga parasite will not die unless the host dies. There's no cure. Perhaps Senor Salazar may have been vaguely aware of the Lord's plan all along, but it's hard to tell. Nevertheless, there's nothing I can do about it now. I have served the Salazar family for generations. I'm prepared to continue my services until the very end. Oh yeah. Okay. Ah! Get off, get off, get off, get off. Kick. Run, no. Safe. Well, safe-ish. Cool. Just gonna keep doing the wrong button. Let's see. I think that's everything in here. Yeah. And now, let's see. So one thing that's kind of funny about the sequence, for the sake of saying it, is that the over-the-shoulder camera view that we have right now was actually added for the American release. In the original Japanese release, as a throwback to the original Resident Evil series, this section had fixed camera angles, kind of like the original Resident Evil games, which I've always thought is kind of neat. I'm sure it was like frustrating. Well, at least I think that's like what I've heard or what I've been told. Shoot, it's locked. But there's no keyhole on this door. What do I do? At least as I understand it. Rearrange the pieces. Okay, I kind of hate this puzzle. I've never really liked this kind of puzzle, but thankfully... Oh, shit, maybe it was that easy. I don't know if they changed that, but I could swear on the GameCube and Wii releases, it wasn't just a one and done like that. I thought it was like a little bit more messed up. That's easy. Okay, cool. I'm glad though, because I normally hate that kind of puzzle. We got the Salazar family insignia. Treasure. Uh-oh. And we got the tail of the Chimera, the serpent ornament. And gold bangle. The suits of armor came to life, which is cool and normal. And I'll have to dodge. Yeah. Just cool normal angles with the camera. Definitely not weird and gross. Yeah, I don't remember this room like at all. For whatever reason, I guess you just don't really spend any time in here, which makes sense. But I'd forgotten things like the butler's note and whatever.
Leon!
Ashley! You did good.
I'm sorry if I was...
Oh, don't worry about it. Come on, let's move on.
And on to chapter 4.1. I super don't want to redo that section, so definitely gonna save. Items from Ashley.
Oh, what a touching moment we have here.
All spoiled thanks to your interruption. Why don't you do us all a favor and leave before the audience gets pissed off?
You're nothing but an extra in my script, so don't get too carried away. Your biggest scene is over.
I don't ever remember being a part of your crappy script.
Well then, why don't you show me what a first-class script is like through your own actions?
Good, witty banter. So we're gonna go back real quick and grab the broken butterfly. I think we should be able to. Unless the door has automatically locked, and that might be all we do this session, unless you update it.
Rare things on. What are you buying?
No, okay, you're just talking about the attaché case. Yeah, I'm just gonna run back, grab that gun. Circle back around. I don't think any of the areas repopulate with enemies in the castle, except when, like, scripted to. I think you can... Oh, nope, I'm completely wrong. Cool. I'm used to being wrong, I guess, but whatever. Too many grenades, so... Sorry. Most of the guys? Slightly wasteful, but, like, we have so much stuff right now. And we're going to be getting even more stuff because of the broken butterfly needing to then start carrying another gun on top of everything else. This way. Hopefully I'm not just wasting a ton of time. Right, okay. I remember what comes next. Get up there. Do it. Have to check the door first, apparently. Cool. Thank you,
Follow
Ashley. You got the elegant perfume bottle. Da 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 da. Take the broken butterfly. Yes. Red herb, thank you. And gold. They really reward you for coming back here. For whatever reason, I thought this was the decorative one. Oh, it is. Okay, the model just, like, didn't load in properly or something. Cool. We now have a Magnum. Which I think I mentioned, like, my plan is that it's going to be, like, the boss killer. For the most part. I probably won't use it on regular enemies, excluding maybe, like, some unusually tenacious ones. Let's just clean up a little bit more. There we go. Nice and pretty. And because we'll pass by the merchant again, we'll also be able to upgrade Broken Butterfly. As I mentioned before, I think last session, I'm not going to upgrade any of its capacity, just like damage and things. Did I see a... No, not a vase. I thought a vase was on the bedside table, which had that spawned in. Maybe could have had more gold or something. Nope, wrong side. All right.
Got some rare things. What are you buying?
Now,
Is that all? Is that all? Is that all?
cool.
Thank you.
And as I said, I'm gonna use all 6 bullets we have before we do anything further with that. Just to be efficient. Magnum ammo is like pretty rare. It's not... I don't think it's the rarest resource in the game, but it might be. It's up there. It's like one of the rarest things. Now, as memory serves, we can't... This is like inoperable right now, maybe? Am I right or wrong? Oh no, get on. Okay. I thought it was inoperable, but there is like this whole section up ahead. I think I'll just do that maybe, and that'll be...
Wait here.
This is also like one of the goofiest things in the game. This like completely ridiculous giant wheel means of transport, I guess. No gems. I'll just do this section real quick. It's a lava lake thing. I think this is how we get the 3rd part of the Chimera. So the castle was built on some kind of lava lake, which is very cool and very normal. Pardon me. There we go. I missed a few in there, but I'm familiar with the idea that that's a thing you can do. Even more money. And that should maybe just use. You dead? No. Let's just clear out one stack. I think we're gonna have one more lava guy. Another pendant, that's 10 or 12,000, I think. Maybe two more lava guys flanking both sides. Maybe just one. Huh. Nice poise, buddy. Why not? Oh, stop it. And while they're burning to death. I think that's kind of an interesting design thing, that you actually have to take one of these things down in order to progress through the area, but you could hypothetically run past the first two and not get the treasure, but it then sort of retroactively teaches you that you have to break the chains, because there's no way you can get to this without doing that. So if you go back through and you start taking out the other ones, then you'll start getting the treasure. It's like, it makes sure you don't leave the area without being somewhat aware of this idea that these high-lit chain links are for the purposes of shooting. I mentioned towards the beginning of the playthrough that I was sort of tortured watching other people play this game a little bit, and one of the things that really frustrated me in one of the worst that I watched is there was a guy who was seriously stuck in this area for like, he was just in this room for like a half hour because he fundamentally didn't understand that you were supposed to shoot the chains. And that was just super frustrating to watch. This will take us to another save point, so might as well. Well, maybe we'll finish out this session by, well, we'll take the roller coaster ride, which is really kind of like hammering home the whole like, this is a haunted house, like Resident Evil shares DNA with Disney's Haunted Mansion or something. It's also just goofy. It's like goofy as hell to think that there's this like bizarrely long route that goes around everything. Obviously they just want to like clarify it on the map so that you're not confused as to how you ended up from there to here, or like to make sure you know you're going somewhere safe. But I think it's hilarious that they propose that this castle has this like internal tram system that's like entirely decorated, the entire run of the tram. And this is sort of a short session, but we might just input these and call it here. We'll have the door open to progress as the start of the next session. This is a pretty quick one, but I wanted to remember to do the broken butterfly, so I continued it right after last session. But cool. Castle keeps moving forward. We're moving at a pretty good clip. We'll probably... It's kind of hard to tell how long the rest of the game will take, but I'm thinking we're kind of at about the 2/3 mark. Because we have a chunk of castle left to go, including like 2 boss battles, I think, and some fairly long sections as part of all this. So we're probably going to be in the castle maybe another hour. Like, we might be able to wrap it up next session, maybe 2 more sessions. And then the island will probably be like 3 or 4 sessions. But I think this is session 8, so I don't know if I saved or not, but let's see. Cool. So I think this was session 8. I imagine that the whole playthrough will end up being something like 13 or 14. But I'm having... It's so fun to revisit all this. It's so cool, and before I go, I guess I would reiterate, like, thinking through the castle, there's this thing that I talked about when we were in the village, that the game keeps mixing things up and throwing new scenarios at you, so that, like, you never do the same thing super long. And just thinking through the castle, like, we start with the rampart section where you have to dodge catapults and you have to take out dudes with catapults. And that's kind of an introduction to the area. The next room after that introduces the guys with shields. After that, we get the prison with a new mini-boss type who behaves significantly different from any other enemy that we've faced so far. Like, he is entirely about misdirects, so you can get behind him, which is something we haven't really seen at all in the game. We get this kind of crazy room with all these alternate pathways, and there's so many things to watch out for simultaneously, which is hugely stressful because you're kind of put to the test of all these different enemy types that you've now encountered in a room where you could hypothetically have to defend from like 4 different directions at once. Like, if you're in that center, you know, you'll have 4 directions that you have to watch out for. Plus high and low, plus protecting Ashley when she's off doing her thing, which I don't think we've done otherwise up to this point in the game. We get to this area and we immediately have to fight new bugs who are invisible, so you have to like watch out for shimmer and for splashes and listen for them. After that we fight more guys in slightly different room variations, including one that potentially has a Gatling gun, which is wild and weird. Dogs in a maze. Another encounter with one of the blind guys, but you're now in this tight little cage and you have to escape, but like the doors are locked with heavy locks, so breaking the locks off makes noise, which will attract him. So you kind of have to deal with that. You have to do this pure sniping section to protect Ashley. You have to play as Ashley with no ability to defend yourself against new types of enemies, including the armor guys. Then we have this lava section where there's dudes on these fire-breathing platforms, and you have to like figure out how to take them down at all. And now we are all the way back at the entrance. So it's like there's some rooms of guys that I guess are a little bit redundant, but like for the most part, you're constantly being put in new scenarios. And even some of the rooms that are just rooms with guys are slightly different in terms of how they mix up what guys you're facing. And like the just you're getting new shuffles and new variants and new permutations on the different enemy types, and I think that's just so admirable, and we're going to keep this going as the game goes on. We're going to get more scenarios with having to deal with height. We're going to get more scenarios having to deal with bugs, more scenarios with the blind guys. It will keep mixing up, and when we get to the island, things will mix up even further. So I'm just always in awe of how this game paces itself, because it's so easy to keep playing because you're not just doing the same thing over and over. And I think that's something that some of the more criticized Resident Evil games miss out on. Like Resident Evil 6 is unbelievably redundant. There's so many generic rooms in a row where you're not doing anything interesting or anything different from any previous room. So we'll keep making those observations as we keep going, but this has been fun, and I'll try to talk about this stuff more as we encounter more interesting settings. So thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you next time.